Okay, okay. All right, their YouTube channel. Mm-hmm. All right, we live. We live today. All right. And on this live, it's a little bit to let me see how things work, how to get things going. I'm sweating like a sailor here now because I'm trying to figure out all this stuff as I go. But if you don't catch this on now, you can catch the recap. Sweating like a pig in Harlem, watermelon in Harlem. Okay. But what I want to talk about on this live today is the first subject is going to be hypergamy. All right, we're going to talk about hypergamy and how men and women can and need to exploit hypergamy. Okay, it's not just a need for men; it's a need for women too. Okay, everybody should look into the hypergamy thing and they should deal with that. That's my opinion. Okay, the reason why this is my opinion is because when you got the with hypergamy, a lot of guys want to be against hypergamy. Okay, they don't like it, but I think a lot of guys don't like it strictly because of the like money aspect of it. For a guy to be able to explore hypergamy, he's probably gonna need money, and I think that's what messes a lot of guys up. I think that's what upsets a lot of guys. It straight up pisses them off. Now, you don't have to have a lot of money as a guy to be able to exploit hypergamy. You really don't. But the thing is, you gotta have this little bit. Hold on one second, guys. I'll be right back. Sorry about that. Important phone call. Either way as it goes, men and women can both explore hypergamy. Now it's just gonna depend on like which one you're gonna do or not, based on if you're a man or a woman, and also based on if you want to live a certain level of society. Because that jump matters in this too. Okay. A lot of people don't really want to say that to themselves, but it does matter. Where you live at, things you have going on, um, how you as a person are moving in life, like where you gotten to, so you know what I'm saying, financially, everything, all this stuff counts in dating, it counts in hypergamy, it counts in everything. The more that people admit that to themselves, the less problems people are gonna have. Since most people don't really want to admit that to themselves, then a lot of them probably, probably not going to be able to help their issues. Probably just not going to be able to. Now, as far as men and women, women expressly should practice hypergamy expressly. Women should definitely do it. Okay. The reason why behind that, well, doggone it, women are gonna be the ones having the kids. Women are gonna be the ones like their lives. Their lives take way more of a hit in a relationship thing than men's lives do. This woman has a child if it ever binds her to the man. I mean, the guy can have a child, and women won't view that the same way. But if the woman has a child, because more likely the child's gonna be living with the woman, and it just it hurts her dating. It just hurts a lot. So it's just my opinion that women should be way more of a butthole about this doggone hypergamy thing than guys. which it is what's going on, which is upsetting some other guys. But the thing of it is instead of people being upset about it, I think they should embrace it, and that they should try to become better than what they are or get to certain levels. So the thing about the hypergamy thing is it's not really based on do you have this or do you have that. It's kind of based on do you have this or you do have that compared to the other person's level. You see what I'm saying? It's not really just based on you. You can base this off of the other person's level. Women can do it, men can do it. If a woman has certain looks, we all know that if a woman's a 10, she go gets a guy that's a 3, he's probably not gonna cheat. She's got a really good chance of him not cheating. Really, 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 really good if she just way better looking than him. Now the problem is that most women can't pull that off or just don't pull that off. They may not like um, dating a guy they don't think is attractive. Whatever it is, I really don't know what it is. But I know that in most cases they don't do it, and it's probably something that they should do. For that reason, I just got done saying they're going to take more of a hit than anybody else. Way more of a hit. Guys might take a money hit. You know what I'm saying? And that's so because if a dude is on his junk and he's getting his money anyway, it probably won't matter to him. That's why you have the guys at the top of levels and everything with all that money and stuff that just sit there and keep having women and just keep kind of doing what they want to do. Because as long as you got the money, you can kind of actively do that. Because it's not going to bother you to take that little money hit. It's the guy that does the flying out and all that other good stuff. You know what I'm saying? He brings women out to where he's at, all the other good stuff. It's that type of thing. And see, when they got like that, they don't have the same issues as everybody else. So the guys who have the money can explore hypergamy a lot better than guys who don't. And the women who have the looks can explore hypergamy a lot more than women who don't have the looks. Okay? What you got to start understanding, the first thing about the hypergamy thing is that for guys, it is money. It's you and, you know what I'm saying, your status. What have you made it in life? What do you got going on? You know what I'm saying? These are the things that women usually tend to look at first. Now, are there situations where women are in relationships or in certain things with guys that they don't have any business being? Yes. I make videos about that and I talk about it all the time. But if we're going to be honest about it, the majority of the time in the situation, it's not really that way. It winds up being that way because either she didn't know where she fit into the hypergamy pyramid, or the guy didn't know where he fit into the hypergamy pyramid. And what happened with that is it wound up with them being in a situation that they shouldn't be in. I.e., you got a woman who could have done better than this man, but yet because she didn't know this from the beginning, because she didn't enforce this from the beginning, well, she wound up with the dude. You have a situation where guys can do better. I was just talking with this about one of my friends the other day. There's a lot of times guys can do better, but they just don't. They just don't. So you really got to kind of look at that. You got to kind of look at that. So as far as hypergamy and how men and women going to do about doggone exploiting that, well, that's another thing. It starts out with you knowing where you at. If you're the guy, you gotta know if I'm a bottom level guy, if I'm a middle level guy, am I the top level guy? Or not just saying this, am I the top level guy compared to her? You have to be able to think about that too. Women have to be able to think about that. Am I a top level woman compared to this man? I got 10 level looks. This guy's got 2 or 3 level money. It's just a match. Because it's not about feelings, I'm gonna be honest with it. And that's the thing about hypergamy. Once people start understanding, most of it's not about feelings. You have more divorce in America with finances than anything else. And infidelity comes in second, but that's at the bottom of everything. at the top, it don't be that way. I was just discussing this with my homeboy again the other day, and we was talking about how okay, you got a doggone rich people, somebody like Bill Clinton or somebody like that, who cheat on that wife. Everybody knows about it. There's not an issue. And that's the case a lot with millionaires, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the case a lot with millionaires. It's a very big lot of the case. It's a lot of the case. So you got to kind of understand that part of it too. The thing about hypergamy and how everybody needs to exploit it is a subject we're going to get in more into it more and more and more on the channel. You know what I'm saying? Now, what we get into now is black female divestors. I'm going to talk about them a little bit. Okay. Uh, Black female divestors, they're women who have decided that I guess they're saying divest. I guess when they're talking about divesting, I guess they mean they're going to divest from the black culture. I'm not sure exactly what they mean when they say divesting, because if they mean divesting from black men, then they have a kind of a problem. Their problem is that they're not really wanted by a lot of other groups of guys, not to the degree that they think. Okay, I've seen a lot of these black female divestors here on this YouTube thing. They talk a bunch of crazy stuff. They say silly stuff like they've got one of them that she suggests that women have an abortion if they're having a black child and the child is going to be a male. These women are suggesting that. And see, that's what I say about the black female divestors, because this is our second topic for the day. The black female divestors got a really bad problem. The thing is that if you follow in the information that most of them are putting out there, they'll probably wind up wiping out the whole black race themselves. So I don't understand it. They say that they like the black race. They care about black women. They supposedly are the only ones who really care about black women and care about black women the most. But to me, when I get looking at the facts behind that stuff, such as the thing we just got done talking about, they want to get rid of black women. Because if you get rid of black men, there'll be no black men to make more black babies, and the black race will die out. So the black female divestors, I sit there like the hate is real. Their self-hate is real. They don't just hate themselves, they probably hate their moms. I made a video about this the other day, and I'm telling you, they probably hate their mom. I think they just hate the black race in general. They're black people, but they hate the black race. Okay. Most of these jokers wear those wigs. I mean, like, I can't get that. You say all this stuff about white people, black people, and other stuff, but you put white girl hair on your head and blue contacts in your eyes and wear blue hair. Blonde hair. You know what I'm saying? Most of these divestor chicks, they ain't got no sense. A lot of them are women who just hung around, I think, with thugs and stuff back in the day. They may have messed around with the wrong black guys or whatever, and now they got a chip on their shoulder. There's nothing that nobody else can really do about it because you kind of brought that one on yourself. All right. The black female divestors, they have not, like, I guess you got to call it mental issues. I guess is what you got to call it, because for some reason they see the world in some kind of way that it just, and it's bad for them. The things that they want go against them. When I did the video the other day, I went into some stories about some of the things I've seen happen. I'm from Alabama myself, so I went into a lot of the stories that I've heard about, just horror stories about things that would happen to black women in the Jim Crow era, and these things were being done by white people, which is what the divestors are saying are the best thing for the black woman. So I don't know what you think about that. So I would ask, what other people thought about that, because to me that's kind of ass backwards. All right. if you're down with these people that did bad stuff to you and your group, then really where does that put you? Really, where does that put them? That's why I said they gotta be some of the most silly, like booty butt ass backwards people that I think I've ever met in my life or I've ever seen. I thought I had seen everything until I got on this YouTube and I started seeing a lot more, a lot of stuff. This one right here, this black female divestor thing, is one of the things that took me by surprise when I got here on Facebook, not Facebook, YouTube, and I started doing this channel and I started looking at different other channels and looking at things to do content on to talk about. And it struck me as one of the things that need to be talked about because a lot of times black guys, when they out here dating and stuff, and they you know, I'm engaged myself, but I just really so much so got engaged, and it ain't been that much for a few months. So I understand what a lot of guys, especially black guys, are going through when they out here trying to date, and they run into things like these female divestors. These women will try to gaslight you. They will try to start arguments with you for nothing. It's been some times that I make comments, and then they make crazy comments back to you, and then I'll be like, you know what? It's all good because I'm a black man with his own business, retired since I was 33 years old. But if I tell one of these black female divestors that I'm not going to get any respect, I could be a millionaire and a black female divestor is not going to respect that. And guys got to start understanding that too. I've seen some of these guys doing some of the other shows, and then I see some of these women on these shows, and they try to talk to them. I don't see no sense in you trying to talk to their type of woman because she obviously hates you. She's got to hate herself. She's got to hate her own race. That Cynthia G chick, I've heard her talk a couple of times. I'm like, this woman right here. But then come turn around and say she had a baby by a guy who's supposedly a Pookie or a Ray Ray. And it's the same thing she talks against. So, I mean, like, the black female divestors, they are an issue for black guys. It's a roadblock. And it's something that's got to kind of either get hurdled or gotten out of the way. Why? Because they always run their mouth about junk that's been debunked or just not the truth or that just causes more problems. I just my opinion that most of them should probably just shut on up. That's what I think. But they ain't doing that like that. They gotta say what they gotta say. They're gonna say, you know what I'm saying? I'm all about everybody saying what they want to say. I'm all about everybody having their, opinions. But the thing of it is like some people's opinion is like there are people that actually follow this. There's people that actually pay attention to this. And you can't even be like, how in the world could you go along with this? These women, the black female investors, they don't just down the black man. They're not just down the black man. They might think that that's what they're doing. But what they're doing is they're down in the black community as a whole and making it in a way to where you almost can't make a doggone connection here because you got these women who are talking smack and trying to make it to where women and men don't want to be together. And that's not good for the community, which is one thing that they complain about. I don't hey, I don't know what to say about them, man, because it's like, these jokers is like, it's really nuts. It's really nuts. They don't think about the fact that the Jim Crow laws was against black women too. Matter of fact, black women did this whole thing, this whole feminist thing, and which the feminist movement they say was mostly from white women and stuff like that. But I don't see what black women got anything out of it. And in most cases, when people are talking about it, they didn't get anything out of it. So I don't see the reason for them to divest because what are you going to divest to? I mean, if you're going to get anything out of the deal, I think they would have gotten it by now. Well, but they're still in the same boat with the rest of us other black people because we ain't got reparations yet. So, what y'all sisters talking about? The shots fired. I mean, like, if they could just tell me what they're talking about, it'd be one thing. But they can't tell you what they're talking about. All they do is go off a bunch of stuff. These women, like I said in my other video, they'll watch videos. They'll watch movies like The Color Purple. They'll watch movies like, you know what I'm saying, Waiting to Exhale. Anything that makes men look bad and black men in general, they'll pay attention to that and they'll watch that. But they don't watch shows like The Help or shows like Hidden Figures. They show that black women was doggone going through the junk too. They had to fight back too. So it wouldn't make no sense for nobody to fight back by themselves. It probably makes sense for everybody to be fighting together. But here's the thing with them. They don't want to do it that way. They want to be them, them, them. And for some reason, they think that they're going to go to the white people who already showed them really what it was by not giving them reparations, by treating them like trash, their ancestors, and think that it's going to be better. I don't know what to make of black female divestors, except but to call them trash, because that's what I think they are. But their thinking process, no. And the more women that you see thinking like that, if you see women thinking like that or a group of women thinking like that, it's time to go. It's time to get away. Time to get away. Now, we're going to get into our last subject here, okay? Which is, who has a more of a chance of cheating, men or women? Okay. Now, I did a video about this a couple of weeks back. Found out some good info on this. Between the ages of 19 to 28, or 18 to 28, 29, somewhere in there, you know what I'm saying? When you turn 18 and 29, women, if you take married relationships, women have higher chances of cheating than men. They do. All right. Mostly because they're in their prime at that time frame. And, you know, we all know that when women in the prime, they're going to do whatever they feel like doing. So it is what it is. Now, you as a guy, you got a different option. But when I was looking at the study, it showed that right there around 30 is where there was a change. Okay, men had less of a chance of cheating before 30. Women had less of a chance of cheating after 30 years old. Okay, but the reason for this is, and everybody knows about that wall and stuff like that. So the reason why this happens this way is at 30 years old, especially if a guy from 20 to 30 been really like hard charging and getting his money and doing everything he's supposed to do. When he gets to 30 years old, his options of women is going to just explode. It happened to me. I read that chart just here not a month ago, but this actually happened to me. I spent the most of my 20s working, doing stuff, you know what I'm saying, getting money and you know, doing investment. By the time I was 30, 33, when I got 33 and I got out of the Army and I busted their butt up with that VA thing, and I got that money from them. And I retired at that point because I had money left over. I got money from that, and I still keep getting money from that. And then I had my little businesses and stuff out that I was starting to run up. So the thing of it is when money got right, especially if you own little businesses in town, where the women can see that you own a little business, something ain't gotta be much. It changes their perspective of you, and women. This goes back to the hypergamy thing we were talking about, the very first subject of this. Okay, when they see that, they down with that. They're gonna be down with that, and they don't have any problem being down with that. But the thing of it is they got to be able to see it. So if they see it, there's a good chance that you're gonna be able to get them. So it makes it the thing like this right here. At 30, there could be a big change between the men and the women. A very big change. Okay? If a guy's been keeping himself together up until 30, he got his money right and everything like that, at 30 years old, stuff gonna take off for him. Whereas as for the woman, it kind of goes on decline because she hits 30, and then when she hits 30, she's getting close to that 40 thing. That see, like that 10 years, a lot of guys don't say it out loud and they don't really admit to it. we just don't say it out loud, but it is the truth. 30 is old for a female. Okay, that's why when it comes down to the cheating thing, when you hit the thing between 30 and 30, that thing crisscross like this. I ain't got the chart for this one right here right now, but it showed it right at 30. There was like guys start going up and women started going down. Their chance of cheating started going down. And they kind of stayed together there for a little bit, and then at the older age, it branched out more. But that goes off saying the thing I was telling you about the hypergamy thing in our very first subject. If men take care of their lives, get that stuff together, because if you're hearing this from me, you're gonna hear it from everybody else, and it probably never is gonna die because it just is the truth. Your chances as a man of women cheating on you become lower the higher your status is. Now, women, their chances of a man cheating on them become lower, the lower his status is, or lower options he has. If you understand that. It's basically for women, as long as the guy don't have any options, if she goes and gets herself a guy that don't really look as good as her, or just like, so so, she might be able to keep that from happening. But if she goes and gets a guy that looks way better than her with a lot more money and a lot more options, and women really want this guy, there's probably a good chance of cheating. Just don't shoot the messenger. This is what it is. Okay. So we got the chance to talk about those three subjects today. And I want to thank anybody that did come in and come out while I was doing that. And if you're catching the recap, drop a comment still, let me know what you think. This has been my first live, and it was a very good one for me. Liked it out. Got a couple people in here at one time, but I'm about to get out of here on this one. We talked about all three of the subjects about a good 10 minutes apiece. And if you got any comments, you can leave them in the comment section below. I'll be sure to get back to you, and maybe I can catch you on the next live. I'm just playing around with the times now. It's 10:30 in the morning on Saturday, so it might not be nobody up. But we'll get around to that.